Hello! Welcome to the stream. It's another stream, it's another wonderful day. Someone is mowing the lawn, or no, I think they're blowing leaves. So, apologies for that. I started talking just as that started happening. So, hello everyone, how's it going? How's your 2 days after Christmas, or 3 days if you're in Australia? I don't. Is there a word for this? Boxing Day. Bros are Home Edition. True. It's pretty cringe. I'm not gonna lie. So as you may notice from the title, I have a PS3 here. It is one of the ones in the video, obviously. It's the one that worked, but its Blu-ray drive wasn't working, and I am planning to send it to a friend as a very belated Christmas present. And I thought, well, it's still pretty dusty. It's I never got around to actually cleaning it on video like I probably should have. So I figured that I might do that on stream. I might clean it up and give it the attention it finally deserves. This is a K model. So there's a, hang on, let me list the PS3 models because, oh, hang on, I'm being asked to do an anti-robot test. Alright, here we go. So, here we go. Yes, okay, so there's a lot of different models. Thankfully, they're very conveniently listed on here. Obviously, these are the ones that everyone has their attention on because they're the hardware PS2 backwards compatible models. But this one here is a K. For some reason, when I see this CECH, I always read it as Czech, even though the country Czechia is not spelled like that. For some reason, I always read it like, oh yeah, it's Czech. So it's a Czech K. And the reason why I'm offering this one to my friend is that it's got a, according to PS Dev Wiki, it's got a 65 nanometer GPU, yeah, which means that the thermals are a lot better than the earlier models. The earlier models are pretty infamous for overheating and breaking down. A lot of these, especially these early backwards compatible models, they're starting to die now, and so people go to the effort of transplanting the newer 65 and 40 nanometer GPUs, which are much better thermal-wise, in order to save these backwards compatible models. But if it's a 65 nanometer one, then it should be more reliable anyway. So that's why I'm offering this one to my friend, even though the Blu-ray drive is broken. But I figure we both figure that mods and hard drives can help get around that. I recall RSX being a mess to code for. I don't know anything about the RSX. I know that the CPU was a tough one because it was, well, it was designed like a supercomputer CPU, or in some ways it was kind of designed more like a GPU. Like it's got two regular CPU cores, but then the rest of it is SPUs where you kind of queue up concurrent. What's the word? Like very concurrent is the only word that's coming to mind. Very concurrent tasks, and that's how you can kind of squeeze a lot of performance out of it. But it's harder to program for than just regular CPU instructions. What PS3 model you recommend getting in 2023? So okay, well let's go back to this model list. I kind of have a recommendation. So this is assuming a few things. This is assuming that you want to mod it, and assuming that you want it to be reliable. In which case, there's I think it's the early Slim models. I have to say that I think the non-Slim models look better. Like if you the fat PS3. It sounds cruel when I say that, but I think the design of these are better than the Slim models. The Slim models, I think, they're fine, but they're not quite as nice looking. However, because they have the more efficient CPUs and GPUs, they are better than... they're more reliable. So if you want it to be, it's kind of like it's the same as the Xbox 360 in that way, actually, that the early model 360s are very prone to red rings of death, and then the Slim models are a little bit more reliable. However, there was also a point about halfway through the Slim life cycle where they did something, I actually don't know the details of this, but they did something that makes it harder to mod them. So you can't install just custom firmware, you have to install hybrid firmware. It's more like a tethered jailbreak in iOS terminology than the earlier mods, which the custom firmware will be modded from boot every time. So up until I think it's the 25XX series, I think that's when that fix was introduced. So as far as if you want a reliable model that's still fully moddable, it's probably going to be one of these earlier Slim models. That being said, I think it's probably about the same as one of the later fat models. I don't know if the... Yeah, I think it's probably about the same as the later fat models, that they're just as moddable and probably about just as reliable. So I'd say somewhere around here, actually. I'm going to revise that. Somewhere around here, from late fat to early Slim, is probably the cream of the crop. MattKC cleaning channel confirmed. See, that's the problem. I can't just make a video about cleaning something. I know that sometimes a repair or a restoration of mine basically amounts to that, like the GameCube from Japan for 300 yen video ultimately comes down to I just cleaned the controller port and it worked. But I feel like I ought to, if I know that I'm going into a video, if I know that I'm going to a project just to clean it, I ought not to to just not to just clean it and then make a whole video about that. Hang on, I feel like I've missed the I think my overlay isn't responding because I didn't refresh it. So I think I've probably missed some super chats. Victor Martinez super chatted $2. Thank you for the super chat. Is it possible to repair scuffs and scratches? I actually have watched a video about this. Maybe I can bring this up. Because I've wondered the same thing. Like, this is very... These are pretty scratched up, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you can see it from there, but they are a little scuffed up. And in some ways it would be nice to try and get rid of those scratches without ruining them. And, oh, you probably especially couldn't see it because because I'm still in thumbnail view. Hang on. I'm still in the corner. Yeah, it's pretty scratched up. And that's pretty common for these piano black models, as they're called. And I did watch a video. Oh, man, this stream sucks. Look at this guy. Who does this loser think he is? Alright, it's 3. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Because the concern is obviously... well, I guess there are a number of videos. There was a specific video I saw where they compared a number of different substances. Like they sectioned off the PS3 into like 4 quadrants and tried different substances on each one. And some of them did turn out really well. I forget exactly which one. Maybe it was this one, actually. Yes, it was. It was this one. And I'll skip to the end. I know that's a it's a dirty move to skip to the end. But you can see, so this is about what this looks like. And then here you can see, so remember this was sectioned off into 4 quadrants. Some of these substances did a pretty good job. Obviously the concern is that if you use something that's too abrasive, it's going to turn it from a glossy finish into a really like rough matte finish, which maybe some people would be into, but I think it kind of misses the point. So there are some ways to at least mitigate the scratches a lot. I'm not going to do that just because I've never done this before, and like I said, I'm planning to give this to a friend, and I don't want to ruin it and then be like, oops, here it is ruined. So hope sorry. Hope you had, Solar Strike super chatted $10. Thank you for the super chat. Hope you had a wonderful holidays. I did. It's my birthday on Thursday. Holy shit. Happy birthday for Thursday. Happy birthday in 2 days. Assuming it's Tuesday for you. If it's Wednesday for you, happy birth tomorrow. I love your videos. Hope you're feeling well. And we're going to have a great 2023. I'm looking forward to 2023, actually. Definitely. But thank you so much for the super chat, and I hope you have a great birthday. Mouse Cop super chatted $5. Thank you for the super chat. I have an 80 gigabyte 4 USB Czech A01. Hang on, we got that over here with full PS2 backwards compatibility. What do I need to do to try to extend the life of the console? So, I'm not a super expert on this, but I can link you to some articles that might help. The biggest problem with these early models, as far as I can tell, is that the thermals are not great, which means that the PS3 runs hotter than it has to, or probably should, and that means that, in general, high heat is going to reduce the life of your silicon chips. There is software. There's something that I even mentioned in my video. It's called, oh god, I've already forgotten. It's Webman. Webman has features to adjust the fan, like, because the PS3 obviously uses an algorithm to determine how fast to spin the fan for whatever temperature that the CPU is running at. And arguably, debatably, the Sony's original algorithm is a little optimistic. It tries to keep the console running quietly rather than cool, so it'll let it regularly get up to like somewhere around 78 degrees Celsius, and then only kick in the fan as it starts to get up to that range. This is just what I've heard. I'm no expert on this. If you install Webman though, you can get basically it gives you the option to try a number of different fan speed algorithms that can it'll make the PS3 louder because it'll be running the fan faster at cooler temperatures, but it will help keep the whole thing cooler. For example, that PS3 that I fixed, like I said in the video, it doesn't exceed more than 65 degrees Celsius, which is much better than 78 degrees Celsius, and that's a 90 nanometer model, so stuff like that can definitely help. Though the Frankenstein mod is what may be the ultimate fate of most backwards compatible PS3s that end up surviving long term, just because, I mean, we'll see how if things like this help significantly. But basically, it's where I mentioned this just before, where you get a 40 nanometer CPU, or GPU, I should say. You transplant a 40 nanometer GPU from later models, which has much better thermals, to an older model, and that fixes it and makes it more reliable. So, essentially, to answer your question, to summarize, try finding ways to get the CPU and GPU running cooler. Webman actually comes with temperature monitors, so you can, once you install it, you can see what your CPU and GPU are running at and what the fan speed is. But if ultimately long term, you may need to look into something like the Frankenstein mod. Unfortunately, it's probably out of reach for a lot of people just because it requires kind of a lot of the same steps as reballing, which is fairly complex and fairly fairly expensive, the equipment that you need. Sorry, but that was a long rambly answer. I hope that helped. I have an old Elite. It's got issues, but it's yours. Oh, thank you for the offer and for the super chat, the £2 super chat, Declan Fay. I appreciate the offer. I don't think I need any more 360s. Maybe you can try to fix it. But thank you so much. Where's the crow's nest loving Microsoft Sam? I don't know. Where is Microsoft Sam? Did I? Oh, weird. Okay, I think I've got it. I think I'll get it. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. I was not sure. Oh, whoop. Sorry about blinding you with that white screen. I think the super chats will be working now. Oh, the TTS voice. Please describe your feet. Thanks, bro. You can see one of my feet in the video. I didn't actually even notice this, but there's a point where I'm cleaning the PS3 stuff in the bathtub, and you can see my foot in there. One of my friends pointed out and said, "You're gonna have a WikiFeet article now," and I'm like, "Damn it! I mean, cool." So you can check it out there. There it is. Thank you for the $1 super chat, Waterboy, and thank you for the $1 super chat, Michael Stein. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Trainman313. I sent an offer for a backward compat YLOD PS3 on eBay, and it never told me that the offer was accepted. I only found out until I randomly checked my bank. Oh wow, really? Did it actually get sent to you, or did they just take your money? Thank you for the super chat. Tricky101, thank you for the $5 super chat. I work in AV and spent about an hour discussing Lego Island in your videos. As you should. Doing the Lord's work.
I've been watching for a while. Love your videos, man. Keep it up.
Thank you for the $5 super chat, Nathan K7256. And yes, I'm glad Microsoft Sam is working again. Karang, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen this video regarding the cause or fix of YLOD? I assume...
Crow's Nest gang rise up.
Thank you for the Crow's Nest, Dan Reeves. I appreciate that so much. Yes, I've been linked this video. I still haven't seen it yet, just because I've been busy with like Christmas and whatnot. But I do plan to watch it. Absolutely. Are there services to have 40nm swaps done? That's a good question.
Thanks for your work preserving Lego
Thank you so
Island.
much. I appreciate
Best
that.
game ever, lol.
I don't know if there are services. Let's have a look real quick. Oh, hang on a sec. Just want to check something. What I have seen is there is this, which is not a service, but someone has is selling a this isn't even a hardware backwards compatible model. God, that's a tongue twister. This is an E model. True based. Thank you so much for the Dan Reeves.
Matt, as an electronics tech, what tools do you all have for your electronics repair and experiments? I use mostly iFixit tools and toolkits / miscellaneouses.
Interesting.
Asterisk sniffs your feet so hard your socks fly off.
Oh god. Oh god. Thank you for the super chat, Con and Gamebreaker. As far as tools go, I've really just picked up a bunch of stuff from everywhere. Everything from eBay to local stores, Amazon now.
Do you have a Discord?
Thank you for the super chat, Anthony Stainton. Sort of. It's I've had, well, I have a Discord, but I try to keep it kind of small, if that makes sense. So there are ways to get to it, but not super publicized ways. Sorry about that. I appreciate the super chat. Uncle Weeb, thank you for the super chat. Music. Pretty much everything I play is from DDR Kirby. I have a license agreement with him, so if you want to know what music I work with, it's pretty much all stuff from his catalog. And thank you for the super chat, Evan Ortiz. I think I've caught up. What I was going to say, this isn't even a hardware backwards compatible model. This is an E model, which is a partially software backwards compatible model. And this is thank you for the super chat, the €1 super chat, Boring Game 69. I don't know why. I don't think it read Victor Martinez's $2 super chat.
I just want to send some swah.
Great, thank you. Appreciate the swah. So if you want to spend $750 on...
Hi, Matt. How are you? Question mark. I love bird vids.
I'm doing great. I'm having having a lot of fun talking about PS3s. There are generalized reball services out there. They usually target GPU repair, but I bet someone could make a deal with one of them to attempt to swap. That's true, because the method is pretty much the same.
Conspicuous.
Oh god, thank you for the super chat. So yeah.
Feet.
Oh god, I've never gotten feet fetishes, I have to say. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, so if you wanted to spend $750 on a partially software-based PS2 that's had this mod done, so ostensibly it is more valuable, then you can. But I'm not sure. As far as I can tell, there are not any actual. There are not any specific services for that. But as someone in chat mentioned, you probably can.
I am also working on home networking while listening to
that's fun.
Rise Up Flat Cable Gang. Reminds me that the PS3 used flat cables in some form.
Did it?
My orthocopter goes swah.
Thank you for the swah and the super chat, Victor Martinez and Gamebreaker. So yeah, that's I guess kind of the state of PS3. I am definitely thinking of trying to do if I ever got a hold of a faulty backwards compatible model, preferably an A or a B model with the hardware backwards compatibility, I would certainly look into trying one of these. It's a little intimidating just because there are so many things that could go wrong.
MattKC, you are cool.
Oh, thank you for the super chat.
Have a good day.
I appreciate that, Camila. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, there are so many things that could go wrong, and it probably shouldn't be the first thing I do. I should probably have some practice doing some other reballs first. So, yeah, that's.
Man, you look like the yellow M&M today.
Do I? Hold up. I need to confirm or deny this. You know, I don't know if I see it, but I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you for the super chat.
I'm watching this on an Oculus Quest to swah.
That's interesting. I didn't know you could watch YouTube on the Oculus Quest. Thank you for the super chat. Yo mama. Whoa. You take that back. What's the intro music name of MattKC Home Edition? It's another DDR Kirby song. It's
Are you a weeb? And if so, what do you watch?
That's none of that is what I was thinking of.
Swah.
Thank you for the super chat. Some more Microsoft Sam memes. And I don't know if I'd consider myself a weeb. I like a lot of Japanese culture, but ironically, I feel like
Matt going live. No way swah.
I feel like I wasn't super into Japanese culture until I actually visited Japan, and then I was like, wow, I actually really like this place.
Here's an idea for a video. XP on a modern computer/laptop. Unless you can change your SID mode to IDE, XP won't detect on iDrives, then it can be not fun finding drivers. I pass ACPI by pressing F7.
It is. I have thought recently, because sometimes people ask, like, why don't you try making the ultimate XP machine? And I feel like XP could probably be made to run on a lot of modern hardware, so it's hard to like put the line in the sand of like what would be the ultimate or the fastest supported. But I have thought about like just making a video about what it would take to get XP on a modern computer, like what you actually need to do.
Also, Matt, if you had to choose a method of transport, what would it be?
Method of transport. I feel like this is going to become a debate about urbanism. I do like subways. Every city I've had with a comprehensive subway network, I've had a lot of fun in. I like riding on the subway. But driving can be fun as well. Being stuck in traffic is not fun, but I enjoy driving. This is my intro song.
Why not get a forwards compatible PS to P dollars left parenthesis H and M.
Good point. I never thought of it that way before, but I can see the argument now. I mean, I guess if they can put PS2 hardware in a PS3, you could just put PS3 hardware in a PS2. That's how it works, right? I got a check BO1 20 gig PS3 that works. Any tips to keep it that way? We kind of went over that earlier. Basically, I'd install, to go over it quickly, I'd install Webman, because that will allow you to run, that'll let you run the fan at higher speeds. You sacrifice some of the quietness, some of the peacefulness of it, but you let everything run a little cooler.
PS3 with the ports on the front.
Hell yeah. But if it runs a little cooler, then the chips should last longer.
Sonic Heroes is a good game. BDW thoughts on Sonic Frontiers. Love your Schmidt, dude.
Thank you so much for the kind words and the super chat.
Do roach legs help the PlayStation CPU run faster?
You know, I never thought of it that way. I don't think so. I have a feeling it's quite the opposite. I haven't played Frontiers yet.
$599.
No way! Look at all those dollars. I mean cents. Thank you for the super chat. I'm yet to play Frontiers, but I was gifted it over Christmas, so I very much plan to play it as soon as possible.
Why is KFC garbage in the US but great overseas?
Is it? I actually don't know. It's a good question. I've been to KFC in Australia and in America, but not close together enough to really be able to tell the difference.
Put a compact PS3 inside the PS5.
True. Based. Well, I guess there is RPCS3. You can't run it on a PS5, but...
Hey Matt, first stream I catch. Love your videos.
Thank you for the super chat, Luna Queen, and Ina and Victor Martinez and anyone I missed. Sorry if I didn't shout you out, but yeah, I mean, in theory, hold up, I'm just thinking about this now. So the Xbox One has dev mode, right, which lets you run homebrew, and RPCS3 is a community emulator. It's gradually getting there as far as being able to play everything. And excellent. Very good.
Hi Matt, you make great content. I also love scouring the internet for old consoles, but how do you store all your retro consoles for easy plug and play?
That's a good question. I'll get to that when I'm finished the other one. Yeah, but so if you run your PS3, so if you run RPCS3 on your
never gonna give you up
on your Xbox One, thank you for the super chat, on your Xbox One dev mode, then technically you're running backwards compatible PS3 on a modern console. It's not a PS4 or PS5, but it's an Xbox One. Too bad nobody really bought Xbox Ones. Sorry, that's mean. Okay. Will you stream PS3 games? Also, your opinion on Super Slims. Will I stream PS3 games? Maybe, if there's a good game to play. My opinion on Super Slims, I would probably avoid them because they're louder than regular Slims and they're less moddable than at least the early models of Slims. I would probably avoid them if I had a choice. How do I store all my retro consoles for easy plug and play? The answer is I don't. Well, usually when I stop using a console, I just kind of put it. I have a.
Sup, Happy holidays.
Thank you for the super chat, Eviscerator, and quite a bit of stuff. I usually put it in storage. I carefully pack it into a drawer.
Matt, why are torturing me with these super chats?
I don't know. I just I felt like you specifically deserve to be tortured. Yeah. So I don't really have a good method of playing of plug and playing my retro consoles. Usually, if I'm bringing one out, then it takes a bit of time, and that's really just because I've chosen to kind of keep my workspace and my like rest areas clean and tidy, so I don't have like a bunch of stuff set up. Usually I'll set up a console, I'll play it for a bit, and once I'm done, I'll just put it away, and then I'll set up another console. So I usually only have about one out at a time is the ideal. I might have as many as 2 or 3, depending on what I'm doing, depending on what I'm playing. But yeah, it's usually I don't have like the AVGN game room set up, or the nerd room. I don't have anything like this. Where everything is set up all the time.
Here's a little bit in the name of Verizon. B, I love your personality and your content. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the super chat.
And my mom got me a jar of mustard for Christmas.
Oh dear.
How many consoles you got now?
Oh god, that's a good question. Oh, quite a few. I think. I have a lot of duplicates. Like I have 3 or 4 Wiis.
Wow. First ever super check.
Oh, thank you.
Mod my PS3 to use a PS1 boot screen and Xbox 360 boot sound.
Not bad.
I did most of your Ultimate XGOX upgrades on one of my 3 old mod boxes. So now I have a working Xbox collecting disc instead of only non-working ones. It was a fun project.
Hell yeah.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Oh, thanks. It's not my birthday, but I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat, Nun17505, and Crabhead and Caleb510.
Hey, y'all, Matt here.
Hey, y'all, Matt here. That's that's definitely how I start all of my videos. You said you modded. Someone said they modded their Acidic Light. Thank you for the super chat. Said they modded their PS3 to use the PS1 boot screen and 360 boot sound. That's interesting. I didn't know you could do that, Brett. I did something similar. With my 360, I modded it to have the original boot animation.
Subscribe on Patreon or YouTube.
I would say memberships might be better because then you get the benefits extend to these streams, for instance. But it's really up to you.
I noticed that you used a Persona 5 disc in your PS3 testing video. Are you a fan of the Persona series? Also, swat.
No way! Some of those swats didn't actually work. Why does that happen? I have no idea. It would be someone needs to like decompile Microsoft SAM so we can figure out why it does things like that. Anyway, I modded my 360 to have this original logo.
The
rather than the
PS3
new
is a
one.
super underrated console to mod.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Just because it's kind of novel and kind of interesting. I never had a 360 in this era when this was the default logo, so it's kind of fun to see it on my console.
Hey, Matt, just wanted to say thank you for your videos. They bring a lot of joy to people, including myself. Also,
I'm glad you added that in. That was important. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you for the super chat. This is actually surprisingly easy to do. You can to swap in the original 360 logo. You can, because it's actually just an executable, so it just sits on the NAND, I think. So if you have your 360 modded...
How do you stop fries from relations with my dog?
Oh god, I don't know, call the police. So yeah, so you can just swap out the executable and you'll get the original logo, which is fun. I know it's completely subjective, but for some reason I prefer it to the one you see now. I agree that PS3 modding is a little bit underrated. I think part of that is because it was so impossible for so long. Like I remember in 2011, you could mod your
I had
PS3.
beta boot animations when they were transitioning to connect bootanium, and the sound is very creepy.
Oh, God.
It starts with children laughing.
I might need to see that.
On the third day of Christmas, Microsoft Sam gave to me swa 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 swa.
It's true. That is what happened.
And a swa 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 swa. Everyone
Oh,
wish
God.
Matt a happy birthday. Source me.
Thanks, I appreciate the happy birthday. It is obviously
My
my
PC
birthday.
just decided to not function for the third time
God.
this month. I am such an L.
That sucks. Hope you figured that out. So thank you for the super chat. Your average guy, 21st century guy, Dan Reeves. I'm JTag Mods. That's interesting. I've never seen that beta boot animation. I'll have to look into that at some point. Yeah, but you could mod your PS3 in 2011, and I did, and then they patched it, and I was really dumb back then because I was like a kid and I hadn't done a lot of modding, and I wanted to play with a friend online, and I know you can spoof your version, but for some reason I was like, whatever. And so I updated to the one where they fixed the mod, and I thought to myself, it's fine, they'll make a new mod soon. For the next 8 years, there was no new mod. If you didn't mod when your PS3 was at the moddable version, you couldn't do it anymore.
Saw you on an A4HW back compact PS3 for $750. Mate, I'm going to send you one. I emailed you about it. I just need to wait till the New Year's swap. Thank you for the great content on YouTube. I'll go and water my plants now.
Oh no. Amazing.
Perfect. I don't know everyone do that, so swa 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 swa. Just kidding, love your vids, man. Love
true.
your channel, Matt.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you for all the super chats. But yeah, thankfully the PS3 is moddable now. I think in 2019 was when a new mod finally came out. But for all 8 of those years, I was like kicking myself, being like, why did I upgrade? I should have just left it, because then it was literally never upgradable or never moddable again for those 8
Your
years.
isn't up to our community's typical standards.
Oh no.
Present a blood sample at once. Calculating threat level.
Am I a zombie in disguise?
Matt is watching Xbox 360 started on a stream about the PS3 XD swa.
Hey, we are we're equal opportunity console enthusiasts here. So, speaking of the PS3, how about we get started on that? How about we get started on opening this up? Now, I've prepared, thank you for the super chat, More, and Yo Mama. I have prepared earlier this
Love the
overhead
videos.
camera.
When will you be buying 15 reais for $50? We'll be looking forward to more hardware restoration vids.
Oh.
Love from Lithuania till
Thank you so much, I appreciate that.
Let me get you an ice cream, sir.
Well, honestly, whenever the opportunity arises, I would buy 15 Wii's for $50. Don't think I wouldn't. Okay, so I've prepared in advance this overhead camera. Oh, it's a bit of an ugly angle, I'm afraid, but that might just be what we got to deal with. Because this was... I've been making a lot of changes to my setup recently, and so my overhead camera is not quite as good as it usually is. This is actually just a phone. Usually I have a real camera, but for various reasons I wasn't able to get that working in time for this stream, so here's a PS3. Here it is, a better look at it.
Discord, you dingoes. Red B.
Bread B? Why does it say that? Why is it like pronounced that as something? Thank you for the 99 Australian cent super chat, Dakota Pro.
Hey, I heard that you can hook me up with Windows 821.
Never heard of it. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no involvement in that whatsoever. Okay, so
Maybe this works better. It's...
Oh dear.
I tried.
So I'm not trying to,
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm not trying to necessarily make a perfect restoration. I'm not gonna try to clean up the scratches
Me,
on the
a
top.
guy from Discord with his broken PS3.
Nice. Thank you for the super chat. I'm mostly trying to. I mostly just don't want to send something that's full of dust and if I feel like if I can clean it, I may as well. So let's get this thing open. Ow, damn it. Alright. I'm gonna try to do this from memory.
Why is the movie called Up Swa 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 $80 MS fan?
Is it? What movie? I'd watch that. I opened I opened and closed the PS3 that I worked on in the video many times while making the video. So
Gazy, give me your answer. Do I'm half crap?
it doesn't have quite the acting prowess of HAL 9000, but
The
it
talk
did.
of hobbies reminded me it's mine today.
No way! Happy birthday, Mar. Thank you for the £2 super chat. So, let me get out one of these. These are always great because I've spent many years letting screws fall on the floor and go missing before I finally invested in one of these. Okay, so with that, the top will come off.
Hey Matt, love every video. Any plans to deep dive into LEGO Rock Raiders like you did with LEGO Island in the future? Keep up the amazing work.
Thank you for the kind words, I appreciate that. I'm not sure about Rock Raiders. As far as I can tell, there's a pretty active modding scene for that already. And I didn't really grow up with Rock Raiders. I had Rock Raiders on the PS1.
Another €2 wasted. Swa 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 swa.
Hey, is it really a waste when it's getting Microsoft Sam to say swah? Thank you so much for the super chat.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I mean,
birthday, dear
it
Patty.
really is my
Happy
birthday, so
to you. Swa 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 swa.
this is very appropriate. But Rock Raiders. I only ever played the PS1 version growing up, and as far as I can tell, that's not the version that most people are interested in as far as modding goes. So I think,
Happy birthday, Ken.
oh, it aborted on the apostrophe. Sometimes it does that, but sometimes it doesn't. I appreciate that.
I've had a few PS3s, but they've all been HWID banned because I'm a person who likes to jailbreak my things.
Yeah, I hear there is a risk of that. Thankfully, I've never gotten banned. Then the newer mods, they block access to PSN by default, so to make that
I
less likely.
misspelled MattKC.
Oh god. Oh, that's what Paddy meant. I see now. So,
Is it a waste? You telling me swa 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 swa.
I don't think that's a waste. I think-
Your videos are up there with lazy game
Aw,
reviews for
thanks,
me.
man.
Just cozy and interesting. Your vids are great, man. Circumflex accent, W circumflex accent. I've something for you too. Just a little something.
No way, Tommy Wiseau is in my chat? Hell yeah. Alright, so we're starting off by cleaning some of this crusty shit off the top. No idea what this could be, but
Hey Matt, been watching your videos for a long time, but I forgot to subscribe until now.
hell yeah.
Thanks for the streaming. I'll be hacking on Linux and SWA.
And sweet. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's in some ways you often don't need to sub just because YouTube's recommendations are reasonably good nowadays. There are a lot of channels that I watch that similarly took me a long
Any
time to sub
plans
to.
to chain all your PS3 single quotes together to make a supercomputer and take over the world?
I mean, if nothing else, I plan to get quite the Bitcoin fortune off it. So yes, absolutely. He said a swear word without a Windows sound happening. Oh no. I have to break it to you. I know it's going to be shocking to hear, but I don't actually make the Windows sound in real life when I talk. I know it's a problem. I wish I did, but I'm afraid it's just not the case. We do not have the technology for that just yet. But maybe with the power of 3 PS3s all linked together in a supercomputer, that may be available to us in the near future. Okay. So, cleaned that up. We should be able to pop this top case off now. Unless I missed a screw. I don't think I did. No.
Hi from Germany. Like your videos.
Oh yeah.
Please make more videos like you do. I really enjoy watching your
Thank you.
videos. Good job.
There we go.
Mad when you releasing OnlyFans over
That is what this stream was originally for, was to announce my OnlyFans. Holy shit! Thank you for the $20, Parkourine. And it was all worth it for the Thank you so much. So this is where it becomes this is where I feel like this was a good idea to do, because look at this. Look at all this. This is disgusting. I mean, thankfully it's only dust. Maybe disgusting doesn't mean anything once you've opened a console packed with cockroaches. But I really think this ought to be cleaned up. So, let's take out the Blu-ray drive.
Holy air dot wave, I thought it was you doing the sound.
It was me. It was me doing the Windows 98 sound. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Do you like sushi and sauce too?
Wait. I thought it was just SOI. I didn't know it couldn't even say soy sauce. It said, bruh, deadass said sauce. What the hell? That's a new one. I did not know it said that. But to answer the question, yeah, I actually love sushi, and I put soy sauce on like everything. Ever since I was a child, I guess it's part of growing up in an Asian household.
I love your content. Greetings from Brazil. Also, why does it says you're playing up on the description?
What did Sam say he loved?
Just
He loved
to
my
say
what?
Thanks, Matt. Your vids are so common.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Ed and Yui. I don't know why it says up. I didn't pick that. I just said
I love your videos.
I just said gaming on the category. I didn't say that I was. I never said I was playing up. Is like YouTube. Oh, oof. I spat on it. Oops. Is YouTube like listening to what I'm saying? Did I like say the word up at some point and they're like, oh, he's playing up? Oh my god. This has become the swash stream now, I'm afraid. That's I'm afraid that is what everyone will be subjected to.
Hey, I forgot my wallet and oh, here it is. Wait, it's missing $5.
Aw.
Oh well, I just wanted to say thanks for the content.
Thank you.
What's up, Mr. Matt? My DualShock 3 Mobile
Doesn't seem to be connecting properly to the membrane. Do you have any fixes? Sorry, I don't know why that didn't
I'm becoming the 8-bit guy.
read out properly.
I'll get ready for becoming MattKC.
Yeah, I think that is what's happening.
SOIs. Love your vids, Matt3.
That was denied, I'm afraid. I don't have any more tips than the ones I showed in the video as far as DualShock 3.
Day 1 backwards compatible PS3 plus two more I bought on it me for $80. It's why the guy wanted to meet up at 7/11. It's so awesome seeing you play it up.
I think in some...
Love your videos. Cause of your videos and getting a Sega Saturn from a made Japan. You'd even send it on December 25th.
Nice.
Crazy. Swap boy, yoy toy.
Oh my god. why the guy wanted to meet at 7-Eleven. There, in some areas, if it's like a dangerous area, it might be preferable to have people come to your, or to go to a public area rather than come to your house. I can kind of see why you might want to do that, but yeah, that's my guess, at least, as far as what's going on there. Oh lord, look at all this. Well, at least under the Blu-ray drive is relatively undusty. So what I'm gonna do, and
Congrats on the channel growth. You should reach out to My Life in Gaming and also Macho Nancho and do some console modding and repair collaborations.
I'd be down. I don't know if I've seen those people before though, but I'm always down for some kind of collaboration. So what I'm going to do, I think, and this is gonna make bad stream content, but what I think I'm gonna do.
Hello, I am Master Chief. Lol.
No way. I think I'm gonna take this outside to get rid of the dust. That way it's not blowing around my room.
Super chat stopped here is swaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswaswas
happens yet.
Did you ever watch RB and the Chief?
No, what's that? Is that a show or is that a YouTube channel?
Love the vids you got me into OG's box modding swore.
Hell yeah! I'm glad. I'm always glad when people get into modding because it's the it's all I can ask for as a content creator is that I inspire people to get into either the hobby I enjoy so much or making videos about the hobby I enjoy so much. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're not playing up, you're cleaning up. YouTube swore.
Playing it up? Should I be like, and don't forget to smash?
This is a bug I've always wanted to see investigated. Why can't Sam say swore?
Yo, new video idea. I'm gonna decompile it.
Swore, swore. That's the sound of DA police.
DA police. I'm gonna decompile Microsoft Sam and see why it says swore instead of soy. It can't even say soy sauce. That's a new discovery I've made this stream. Thank you for the super chat, Mervin Bunter and Dan Reeves and LolXD and sorry if I missed you. Sorry if I didn't shout you out. Hell yeah! Thank you so much. Uh-oh. That's that one is pretty stuck. I'll get that one out later. Gosh, so unbelievably dusty. Maybe I might take this outside now and undust it. That's like I said, that's gonna be bad for the. I'm afraid the only word I understood was. But I will. I'll be back.
RBM the Chief is old machinima slash puppet show. Funny stuff.
Gotcha.
Master Chief is Microsoft Sam. Arbiter is Microsoft Mike.
Oh, that's
I'm
interesting.
out of money now, I'll die.
Thank you for the super chat and thank you for the explanation. I'm going to briefly step outside and get rid of some of this dust, and I'll be back in a minute.
Super chats. Did you love your channel? Do you ever get tired of the swat oil at all?
Hello, I'm back. Okay, so thank you for your patience. The PS3 is now much less dusty. Maybe next time I do this, I'll find a way to do that on stream. But no, there's still bits and pieces of dust, but that's okay. It's at least overall, just hit the camera, much easier to deal with. All right, let's continue. Have you touched the grass? Yeah, I guess some grass touching was involved. Okay. Trying to think through this, because this is a slightly different design to the previous, or to the other one. Hang on. Move this over here so I can see it better. Uh-oh.
Matt's PS3 supercomputer goes swah 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 at.
I guess it does. Did it miss one of them?
Been watching for a while. You are the reason I modded my Xbox.
Hell yeah.
Thanks.
Give me 1 second. Oh, no, okay, I see what's happening. In the words of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I see what's happening here. So, yeah, okay.
The Rafflecopter goes SOI, 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 SOI.
Denied! No swah for you. So, I don't know why that happens sometimes. So, yeah, because every PS3 hardware model is slightly different, we've gotten to the point where this one is different from the one I did in the video, which is obviously the one I'm most familiar with, and therefore I'm a little bit less sure. Well, I mean, not less sure in the sense that it's still generally the same, but the steps from here onwards are a little bit different.
Was the 3PS3S a reference to the old viral video?
Old viral video? I am not sure which one you're talking about. I just read this one. I'll let Sam read it for me.
I find you extremely attractive, Matt.
No way. Thanks, Microsoft. Thank you so much for the super chat. I feel like it missed one of these. Everyone. Thank you for the super chats.
Did you move away from Australia, or did I imagine it?
Yes, I am now currently living in a different country. Yeah. Thank you for the super chats, Ice Dream and Lord of the Bombs and, sorry, I can't pronounce that. I think those happened while I was away. So, at least the PS3 is a little less dusty.
You are my favorite tuber. Swah 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 swah.
Really? Me? You can do better. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Okay. So I'm currently trying to get. Oh, I might be able to use this to get the. This is the wireless module. Get this off. There we go. Put that with the screw. I think that's the antenna, not necessarily the wireless module, but still. Alright, just gonna take this hard drive cage off as well. Uh-oh. Oh, weird. This one has like a little tab that holds it in. I haven't seen that before. That wasn't on the in the last model.
Experimental donation swah SOI swah swah and thanks.
Maybe I have to get that out after I get the rest of it out. Okay, so we'll try and get more of this stuff out. is the PS3 with the NEC tokens replacement still working? It is. It's actually been working for a few months now because that video was recorded well in advance. Like a lot of that, most of that footage I think was recorded in August. And bits and pieces were done in like November and December, but I think that replacement happened quite early on. Oof, there's some dust that I missed. Unlucky. MattKC Grass Edition. You don't want to touch that damn grass. I mean, I don't know if there ever will be a MattKC Grass Edition. I don't know if enough grass touching goes on in my life for that. Yeah, I guess so. I guess I have to wait for that one. There should be a point where I can basically lift the whole module out. It might be... Not module, that makes it sound like it's small. It's more like a assembly. The top case is almost removable, but these screws are causing me a bit of trouble. They're a little stuck in there, and I feel like the screws are gonna strip. And strictly, I don't need to take those those off just to clean it, because the board is probably fine. Thank you for the super chat, Dave. Experimental donation. Did that play or not? Did I miss that? I might have missed that. Remove the hard drive first. Oh yeah, you're right. How did I forget to remove the hard drive? So, the hard drive is actually a removable component. You don't need to...
This is the sound of decompiled police. Do it, please.
True. Yeah, you don't actually have to open it this far to get to the hard drive. Oh, I was doing it the wrong way. What a dummy. Why do people even watch me? Got that completely wrong. Will you change the message sound as the same sound as my notify sound? I'm sorry, but I must keep it as it is. For it brings me great nostalgia, and that is very important for the future of this stream.
I love spaghetti sauce. Also love your vids.
Oh wow, it even said swai sauce. There we go. Hard drive out, that's a little dusty as well. And there we go. Yes, thanks for reminding me. I can't believe I forgot to take the hard drive out. What a rookie error. Imagine MattKC ports Lego Island to PS4. I'd love to. Maybe one day. If I had the time, I definitely would. Balls? True. I agree.
You have selected Microsoft Sam as the computer's default voice.
Wow.
Microsoft SOI. Default SOI.
That really brings it all back. You selected Microsoft Sam. That is actually what he would say. Alright, so this is a whole separate module in this board. In the PS3 that I did in the video, this was all the same board. It was like L-shaped. But on this board, it is different.
Crow's nest, crow's nest, crow's nest, swat, swat, crow's nest, crow's nest, crow's nest.
I do love a good crow's nest. I think.
Sam chill until he goes up.
Oh my god. So, I believe that's all the screws out except for these two. I think it should be possible to lift the whole thing out now.
Man, I've been watching for a while. I love your content.
Thank you so much for the super chat, the $10 super chat nugget, and Ice Stream and Dan Reeves and Dead Agent. Sorry for not if I missed shouting anyone out. Loving the stream, Random Q. Matt, are you planning on releasing any music anytime soon? I'd love to. I haven't had a lot of time lately because I've been getting videos out very quickly. But it's definitely the plan to do more stuff like that in the future.
Port Lego Island to Originals box.
You probably could do that reasonably effectively because Lego Island uses a bunch of DirectX APIs and so does the Xbox. The only thing that's missing is D3DRM. That's a whole thing in and of itself. But yeah, it's it probably is quite possible to do that.
Soy sauce. Does this work? I hope it does.
Denied. Only real soy sauce will get you a swah. I feel like no, those are okay. I think.
Oh
god. What was that supposed to be? Oh, lol 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 lol.
%, swa 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 swa.
How did it pronounce that? Sam is a very strange TTS. Look at tech support gore. Oh god. That's a depressing subreddit. You just see things that are very, 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 very broken. Thank you for the super chat, Barry Singleton. Are any of the PS3s you restored backwards compatible? An easy way to find out. No, I've never had a backwards compatible PS3. At least, not yet.
Crotch crow's nest you use.
Gotcha. Thank you for the super chat. Alright, so, just trying to make sure I haven't missed anything. It may be a good time to look up the a guide just to see. Because I know vaguely what's supposed to come next. No, the biggest problem right now is I don't want to strip these screws, and I think they're going to strip if I force them. I also don't want to damage the CPU and GPU, which are probably stuck on the heat sinks right now. But I feel like it should be... I feel like I should be able to take this out now. This used to be here. I'll just keep it there for now.
I'm Micro Swap Sam and MattKC money machine.
Apparently, I didn't expect I'd get this many super chats in one stream, but hey, I appreciate it. I'm trying to think exactly. Trying to think what my next move should be, because I feel like it should come out now, but I don't want to force it in case it causes a problem. Unless I really do need to get these screws out. It's possible that I really do. But I feel like they should be just attached to the other side of the metal shielding.
Here's the last of my money on the gift card XD.
Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to give all your money to me.
How to port Lego Island to original Xbox.
With many, many years of work, but I feel like it's probably possible.
Bag.
I don't know what that was trying to say, but yes, I'm glad. I feel like what it's probably stuck on is just the heatsink grease, and the stuck to the heat sinks. I'm gonna try one last time, see if I can get these screws out. Opinion on TikTok, I think it's trash. Yeah, I don't use much of TikTok. There we go. Nice.
My name is Garyusoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoisoi
you for the super chat. Move those screws, then the top shield. Yeah, I guess. There we go. Cool. Okay. I was just
Windows XP or Windows Vista?
I just didn't have enough faith. XP or Vista? Oh, I do have to unplug these.
You should watch Flexing Seal, you'll love it.
Should watch Flexing Seal? You mean Flex Seal? Everyone knows about Flex Seal. I assume that's not what you meant though. Alright, how does this lock work? Oh, there we go. Cool. Alright. Progress has been made. Oh, there is actually a bit of dust on the board, so that was worth doing. And then... oh yes. So the board itself is going to be stuck because it's stuck to the heat sinks underneath. And that's going to require a lot of care to make sure nothing breaks as I get those off. Why was the last stream privated? It isn't. It's unlisted. It's on the... if you go to my MattKC live playlist, you'll be able to find it. It's true. Disassembling a PS3 is very funny. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, this is where I want to be most careful, is when we're dealing with the heat sinks and the CPU and all that. What is your opinion on Linux? I am a Linux user. This whole stream is running on Linux right now.
These nuts lol.
True. I wouldn't necessarily say Linux is practical for everyone. There are some concerns I might have for depending on what you need to do or what you want to do or how technical you are. But for me...
Have you seen my animated show, Tony's Crazy Adventures?
I have not. Thank you for the super chat, Tony Balloni. That's impressive that you're doing an animation, though. That sounds like a lot of hard work. Yeah, but...
Hey Madlock PS3, are you cleaning? Swah swah swah.
This is a Check K. It's one of the ones in the video. It's the one where the Blu-ray drive didn't work, and I'm giving it to a friend as a belated Christmas present. And before I sent it over, I figured it might be a nice thing to clean it out because I knew it was pretty dusty. Ooh. I think that has done something. What did I think of the PS3 when I first saw it? I don't know if I thought much when I first saw it. I got one... My first PS3 I got in 2010, I think, which was kind of late for the PS3. It was already around for like 4 years by then. And I think I mostly just thought it was like... I had a PS2, and I played a lot of PS2 games, and I think I just thought it was like the natural successor to that. I was like, well, if I want to play more games like the games I play on the PS2, so yeah, well, I'll ask my dad for a PS3 for Christmas, and he was like, yeah, alright, which was very nice, by the way. Not everyone is fortunate enough to get a PS3 for Christmas, but yeah, that's kind of my story with the PS3. Why do I look and sound like a broke Elon Musk? You know, I've never been asked that one in my life. I've gotten a lot of discount Markiplier or British Keanu Reeves, but broke Elon Musk, I have to add that one to my Twitter bio. The honest answer is because he's from South Africa, and the South African accent has a lot in common with the Australian accent. They obviously are not the same accent, and if you were to suggest that they were the same accent, people would probably crucify you in either country. But that would be why. It's because accents have similarities. So this whole time I've been trying to unstick the GPU, I think. Yeah, this is the GPU from its heatsink. The CPU, I think, came off, but it hasn't. But it hasn't come off. The GPU heatsink hasn't come off yet, so I'm feeling like I might be missing something right now. I feel like something should have happened by now. Use a darn pry tool. I don't know if I have a pry tool, or at least not one that could... this is probably the closest thing I have, and I don't know how I feel about that. You just gotta apply light pressure. I feel like it probably is just applying pressure, but also I don't want to be doing anything that might be a problem. There we go. Yeah, so I was right. It was just the GPU and CPU were just stuck together with this crumbly geriatric heatsink grease. Yeah, it's about what you'd expect. I think the text-to-speech has stopped working. I might have to restart that real quick. Sorry. Having to look over a few things. Sorry about that. Sorry about missing the last few super chats. You should run a next-gen console on AA. Yeah, I mean, I'd be down. I don't know. I don't know how many amps I would need, but I assume quite a few. Why did you choose having a forum over a Discord? Because forums are based. Speaking of which, if you go over to forum.mattkc.com, you can talk about technology with me. I might even show some stuff from it later on in the stream. Aussie, soy. Hang on, I actually want to see it say that. Hang on. Okay. Oh. Hang on. The problem with all of this being like self-developed alpha software is that a lot of it is unfinished. There we go.
Aussie. Swat.
Excellent. Hi Matt, I hope the cleaning is going well. Hello, yes, it is. I finally gotten down to the bottom of the case so we can start making sure everything gets cleaned out properly. My desk is a mess, it's covered in dust, but that was kind of the point. That's why I wanted to clean this out, is because I knew it was packed with dust. And I felt like it was only courteous to, if I could, get the dust out before sending it over to my friend. Are you ever going to try play Fortnite on the PS3? I did not know Fortnite was on the PS3. Is that true? I want to lick that thermal paste. Mmm, yummy. You want some of this? God. God. Oh, hang on. Okay. Alright. Fan is out. Heatsink. Ugh. Wow. This is a different design. I didn't see these on the other model. And again, ugh. Okay. Alright, so I'll clean these heat sinks out first. I'm using an anti-static brush. So basically, I'll get the dust out into the bottom case, and then later on I'll take the bottom case outside and undust that. I'm currently porting my Android device to Linux and doing low-level bootloader stuff. Hell yeah, that sounds exciting. When Matt posts, my day turns to pure gold. Hell yeah. Well, this isn't technically a post, this is a stream. So, I don't know if it'll have quite the same effect, but I'm glad you're here. I enjoy hanging out on stream. I enjoy talking about technology and all that sort of thing. Oh, there's another super chat I missed. Thank you for the super chat, Simon. 10 euros. I love your videos. You should do some BIOS flashing stuff with GPUs and the CHA341. Maybe some GPU repairs overall. I would love to see that. Greetings from Germany. Hell yeah. So when it comes to GPUs, a lot of those, I actually considered doing a GPU repair back in when I was doing the first Ultimate Windows 98 PC video because
I was looking for Japanese Lego Island.
How was it? Well, it was a lot of work, but fun. You can see the story in that video I made. So I wanted to repair that 6800 Ultra that I got for the Ultimate Windows 98 PC, and eventually I just kind of decided it was beyond my my skill level, unfortunately. But I would absolutely be open to doing that. Like, as my skills have improved over the years, I would absolutely be open to doing more of that sort of thing. We were just talking earlier about how the PS3 Frankenstein mod, the one where you transplant a better thermal 40 nanometer GPU into your older 90 nanometer PS3, how that requires a lot of like reballing skill. So part of me does think that it would be fun to kind of get better at that sort of thing and do more things like that.
Sean Warden saved the PS Soy with his video.
The PS Soy, damn it! It once again has denied a swah. But you get one from me for that. I will say swah for you. Thank you for the super chat, Ruben Linares. Have I seen Rip Felix's video about the YLED? Not yet. I, in fact, didn't know it existed until I made my video, but I have been recommended it and I will watch it, definitely. I just haven't had time because of Christmas and whatnot, and today I'm streaming. Might even watch it later today once I've finished streaming. Yes. I need some cotton swabs. Or in this, in
I dare you to make porting Lego Island to log Xbox Swap.
Don't think I won't do it. I mean, the problem is it'll probably take years to do something like that, depending on the approach that I take. But like I said, don't think I won't. Don't you threaten me with a good time.
When was the last time you were fully angry at something? Like properly angry?
It happens pretty well.
I'm a software guy, but I want to start beating up my old PS2s and 360s. Is there a steep learning curve for a beginner?
Sorry, there's a lot coming in all at once. Steep learning curve. I mean, it's definitely different. I came into this as a software guy as well. And you really have to start, I think, from the bottom up. Start with something really simple that you can do. Like modding a console is probably one of them, which is... usually there are tutorials out there for that sort of thing. So, and then when it comes to repairs, you just have to start with something that you think, you have to find something that's relatively easy to repair. Like if you go on my channel, the earliest repair videos I made was just like an NES, just like cleaning the cartridge slot. And once you have the basics, once you can do sort of basic things like that, then you can start to expand towards bigger, better projects. In some ways, a lot of people ask how I learned how to do a lot of this stuff. In a lot of ways, you can see my progression of my knowledge over the course of my videos. You can see that they've progressively gotten more complex as I've learned more and I've made more and done more projects like it. So I just recommend getting started wherever feels approachable, and then just kind of going from there. I realize this is kind of a slow way of doing this. I should be using like a paper towel or something rather than a cotton swab or a Q-tip. Did Microsoft Sam miss that super chat? It says, second, have you heard of Post-Market OS? I actually don't know. I can't remember. Alright. We're upgrading to a larger larger device. There we go. Much better. So yeah, I will be redoing the...
Which Linux distro are you using?
Arch BTW. It's just been the, like, because Arch is, I know it's everyone's least favorite user base, but it kind of positions itself as a quote-unquote DIY OS, and that's kind of why, or what appeals to me. It's very easy to, like, just get it working exactly how you want it to do. So yeah, that's been... I've tried other distros. I've used Ubuntu a lot. I've used Fedora, CentOS for some things. I've used FreeBSD. I know that's not Linux, but similar sort of distribution. And yeah, at the end of the day, Arch was just the one that ended up working for me the best.
You should use the PS3 as a server swap.
You know, not a bad idea. How would it feel if my MattKC forums, plug forum.mattkc.com, if they happened to be running on a PS3? Wouldn't that be something? Alright. Same thing over here. Do you plan to do more PS3 stuff? Not at the moment. I don't have any other plans. Just yet. We'll see what happens. I might do some more stuff on stream like this. As far as videos, there aren't any no concrete plans at this time. The forum registration doesn't work. It should do. If it doesn't, try again later. It has like anti-bot stuff, obviously. So it depends on what you mean by doesn't work. There are a lot of things that could mean. Port Pyongyang Racer to PS3 so you get Congrate on PS3. You might not even need to port that because it's Flash, and the PS3 I'm pretty sure does support Flash. That's a good point. We should try playing Pyongyang Racer on stream. See, just see what happens on PS3 on stream.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, thank you for the super chat. The Conscious Bone.
Linux.
Linux. I agree. I feel that way too. Cool. Yes. Alright, that's probably about right. Alright, so I'm going to use my anti-static brush to brush the dust off the rest of these things. Someone is blowing leaves again. So I started the stream. Someone was blowing leaves, and now it's happening again. Sorry if you hear that in the microphone, but I doubt you'll see this ping, but I'm an Ubuntu contributor, and I'm the lead of the Ubuntu Cinnamon remix, and it does bring me a smile when I see you use Ubuntu in your vids. Hell yeah. Yeah, I use Ubuntu a lot for, like, if I need to boot into something and, like, change some EFI settings, or I need to change some partitioning, or I use it on my home server and my VPS, which runs my website. So I use a lot of Ubuntu on computers that are not my desktop. Do you know how to fix the PS3 FAT with the blackout issue where the LED goes green for 1 second and turns off? I have a feeling that could be a lot of things.
Would you describe yourself as a pinhead?
A pinhead? Yeah, sure. Isn't that an insult?
You should mod Lego Island with new HD graphics.
It is a good point, I should.
SpongeBob.
Oh god.
I made the mistake of drinking Red Bull and using VR.
That does that does sound like a mistake. I don't. It could be fun though. I've only used VR once, and it was at a convention. Nvidia was doing some showcase, and ugh, this is pretty dusty. I might leave that till I get outside. Same with this. This is not too bad. I might.
Who you calling pinhead?
True. Do you have plans to make the ultimate PS3 multi-man and SSD stuff? Maybe. I don't have a plan yet, but I could do something like that. Gosh. There's a lot of stuff that's just dusty, and I should probably go outside to dust it, so I might have to step away for another minute, just as I do this stuff. Sorry about that, hope you don't mind too much, but yeah, I'll be back in 1 minute.
Has anyone said you look like MattKC? Yo.
You know, I have heard that. I get that pretty often. I don't know, have you ever seen me and MattKC in the same room? It's, just saying, you know? Anyway. Alright, I'll be back in 1 minute. Sorry for the BRB. But thanks for sticking around and watching. See you in a sec. Hello, I'm back. Oh, this isn't... I should have the overhead. Yes, I'm back. So I've cleaned this fan. It's a lot nicer than it used to be. And that's important, because the fan is responsible for a lot of thermals, obviously. I haven't cleaned this stuff yet, but I figure there's more that I can do while I'm here. How does Sam say your name? We've had a few super chats with that, but he'll say it like MattKC or something like that. Hey Matt, you probably won't read this, but I have a PS3.
Wait, where did I go wrong with my PS3 on YouTube?
Is that a video? Is it worth restoring? Sorry, I missed that
Should
one.
I eat my PS to slim or not? Swah, 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 swah.
I'd say yes. That's always a good idea. Is it with a broken disk drive? Is it worth restoring to pristine condition? I'd say yes. Those things are pretty
Level
valuable.
Island Rebuilder
check
not
Bs.
working on Windows XP.
Absolutely. If so, you should make an issue about it. I can't provide technical support while I'm halfway through a PS3 repair. Well, not a repair. A very minor refurbishing. Hey, MattKC, I love your content, dude. I think it's amazing whenever you post. I get genuinely excited. I'm also working on a PS3 FAT with LLOD. I ordered some capacitors for it. Hell yeah. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. That's really nice. Okay. So while I'm here, let's also clean the heatsink paste off these. If you have a game dev, you should make a remastered Pyongyang Racer. Oh god. I don't know though, can you really improve on perfection? I feel like it's already a 10 out of 10.
Opinion on GPU prices, Nvidia versus AMD.
I mean...
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much for the super chat and the Merry Christmas. I mean, it's a bit silly, isn't it? The whole GPU prices thing. It's because, I mean... a lot of, obviously there was a lot of market forces at work. There was crypto, there was the pandemic, there was silicon production shortages, and yeah, unfortunate. Also unfortunate is the various people who come in and try to take advantage, scalpers and whatnot. But it seems like we're mostly out of that now. For the most part, it seems like a lot of those market forces are no longer at play. As far as Nvidia versus AMD, I think it depends a lot on what OS you want to run. If you're running Windows, I'd say definitely go with Nvidia. Additionally, if you need a lot of the Nvidia special features like CUDA or NVDIC and NVENC, the decoder and encoder, or you need the or optics renderer or whatever other special features they have, then NVIDIA has the better features, and pretty much anyone who works in video production or science or anything like that will probably be using NVIDIA for those features. For the average gamer though, those things probably aren't super important. That being said, if you're trying to run Linux or you're trying to run a Hackintosh, then you should go AMD in my opinion, because in my experience, a lot of the issues that I had with an NVIDIA GPU disappeared when I switched to AMD. That's my experience. And of course, macOS doesn't support NVIDIA at all anymore. So it depends a lot on what you want to do and what OS you want to run. But yeah, that's about it. I'm getting an HP Pavilion A405N Retro PC and an HP Compaq S7500 CRT monitor. Opinions? I don't know any of those model numbers, but in this day and age, any retro computer, any CRT monitor is worth holding on to, I think. Because those things, they're not making any more of them. So we gotta hold on to them. We gotta preserve our history where we can. imagine it blows up after, and this 1 hour of cleaning was for nothing. It's okay. I've sunk way more hours than this into a project for it to come out to nothing. So I'm used to it. But I appreciate everyone sticking around. I know that just watching me undust a PS3 is not everyone's cup of tea. I know that there are far more interesting things you could be watching. But I thought it'd be good to hang out. I like I said, I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I enjoy talking about tech and all of that. So I thought it'd be a fun little thing to do. I might actually need the Q-tips for this one. Lego Island on PS5. Is there a way to run? I mean, none of these ports will probably be possible without like a decomp or something, right? But if there's a way to run like a virtual machine on a PS5, that's a quick way of doing it for sure. Is the PS3 modded? If it isn't, do you want to mod it in the future? Well, so this PS3 I'm actually giving to a friend. That's kind of why I'm cleaning it out, is because so I've made this for well, I'm giving this to a friend as a belated Christmas present.
Your
so,
Sonic decompilation video was amazing. You have a great way of turning development into a narrative. Also,
Thank you so
I'm a
much.
pinhead too. Don't worry, B.
Good. We're all pinheads here apparently. Yeah, so I'm giving this PS3 to a friend, and I'm cleaning it up because I feel like it's just the courteous thing to do. If I can clean it up, to clean it up before sending it to him. And I am relatively certain he's going to mod it. I'm going to leave it just factory default, so he can do whatever he wants. I don't want to color the experience in any way or anything like that. So yeah, I think this is going to be modded in the future. I'm not going to mod it, but I think someone is going to mod it at some point. MattKC, Windows vs Linux. I love your content, by the way. Be careful with leaded soldered. Thank you, I appreciate that. I am all in on Linux at the moment. I've always had issues with Windows. I've been wanting to like switch off it for a long time, but
Lego Island or Poison Racer on a Samsung Gear S3.
oh god, I have no idea how that works. I assume it's just an Android watch, right? So in theory, probably possible. Why is the stream marked as being a gaming stream of the game Up? I don't know. I didn't tell it to do that. I have a feeling YouTube might have just like listened to something I said early on and heard like the word Up and been like, hey, he's playing Up. He said so. I have no idea. Or maybe it's just completely RNG. Who knows? I make my own Linux distro based on Arch Linux. I'm not far in development, but I can put it into a live CD desktop environment that's a little broken. At least it works mostly. Hell yeah. I have never made my own Linux distro, but that's...
I have a dead PS3 on the corner of my room. I killed the power button, little daughter board, and probably something else BC it doesn't turn on with the controller. This is for a Windows 98 machine you built.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for the super chats, Chenzen and Chris Debug, and Kai English, and Caleb, Camrath, and Matthew Pretty. If you're planning on repairing that, I wish you the best of luck. That's unfortunate. That PS3, I mean. Is it possible to put PS4 OS on a PS3? I don't think so, because they're compiled for different architectures. This CPU is sort of PowerPC based, but even then it's not necessarily like other PowerPC CPUs. And the PS4 is x86, and it runs a derivative of FreeBSD, so it's quite a different CPU. That being said, FreeBSD can be compiled for PowerPC, so it's not impossible someone could figure out a way to make it work, or at least make something similar to it work. But I anticipate it would take a lot of effort, and probably more effort than anyone would think it was worth. Alright. Very cool. No more... well, a lot less dust on this board. That's nice. I'm glad I did get the case off the board, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get a lot of this stuff. I picked up a Samsung tablet recently, Galaxy Tab E. What should I do with it? There are a lot of interesting things you can do with an Android, or an old Android device. For example, this one is an old phone and I'm using it as a camera, or a webcam more specifically. You can also use it for you can set up like a soundboard if you want to go around and be like making memes in public or at your desk or something like that. Probably the camera is the most useful thing. You could also give it to like... well, no, if you just got it, presumably you want to do something with it. You could use it in the kitchen as like a recipe viewer. Something like that.
Finally, I am able to catch Matt on Lit. Been enjoying your videos for a while. Keep that young dad energy, Matt.
That probably does sum it up, young dad energy.
It runs Tizen 4.0 on the Gear S3.
Is that not Android? Is that a variant of Android, or is that something else completely? I actually do not know. Thank you for the super chat, Swedish Luigi. Thank you for the €1. Alright. Oops. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to done. There are just a couple more things I need to go outside to dust, unfortunately. But after that, I think we'll be about ready. Oh yeah, all this metal shielding and case stuff. I need to go outside to dust it. In fact, I'm going to make a little poll, because I want to know oh, thank you for the oh no, I already saw that one. How do I make a poll on here? There is a way, I'm pretty sure, because I want to I feel like I've seen people do them before. I want to know if people want to see me like finish this off and put it all back together, or if they want to hang out and chat instead. Because we're kind of at a crossroads here. We could do either. I guess people can just say in the in the chat. There really should be a way to do a poll though. I've seen it before. The 3 chat dots on the chat bar. No, all I get from that is like participants, pop out, and toggle timestamps. Both. Finish it. Let's chill. Man, forgot. Make a poll by just making a poll. Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you. Finish it. Finish it. Put it back together. Finish the build and talk more. Okay. I'll finish it and then we'll hang out. We'll talk about some stuff. Might as well finish. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Okay, so everything is undusted except for these bits. All right, so all of this stuff needs to be clean. Everything else is fine. that too. This isn't dusty, this just needs regular cleaning. Okay, so I'll come back and I will undust this stuff. Just poll. I literally cannot see the poll option because YouTube's streamer interface is complicated. The bottom left chat window, you can create a poll. Oh, it's under the button engage with your audience. It's not in the three dots, it's not on any of these other panels that I have access to. Start a poll. Okay. Okay. That should do it. I don't know how long that poll lasts for. There wasn't a duration option. Tell you what, while that poll is running, I'll go and undust these, and when I come back, we will operate on the results. Okay, burb. And we're back. Sorry about that. There were a lot of pieces and a lot of dust involved in that, and my desk is also covered in dust now. So, I'll clean that off so we can continue. Man, you ever wonder how things get this dusty? Like, where do you think this has been for the last, like, 10 years? What has it been doing? Just sitting in the closet or something like that? Matt, jump scare, sorry about that.
Why don't you have Matt Professional Edition?
'Cause I'm poor. What do you think, I'm made of money? I can afford MattKC Professional Edition?
Tizen is Linux-based and sauce.
Right, gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, let's, well, I guess we could start putting this back together. There's still a little bit of dust on here that I'd like to tidy up, but I don't have to go outside for that. I can just give it a little wipe down. Hey MattKC, I have an old compact PC with XP installed. What should I do with it? You should do things that...
You sound exactly like YouTuber Motividia.
Do I? I've never heard of him. You should do things that you can only do on XP. Some of that might just be using an old computer and just imagining yourself back in that time. That can be a fun little nostalgic trip. But also, obviously games. Play old games on it. If you want to, like, feel like you're a kid again, or feel like how people felt in the 2000s, you could write, like...
They love your content, waiting for every new video.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. You could do things like write schoolwork, or just hobby writing if you do writing. Those are the sorts of things I would do with an XP computer, is just kind of go use it every now and then to imagine I'm still in simpler times. Hey MattKC, I recently got a Wii U. Do you have any recommendations of what to do with it? I already homebrewed, but do you have any recommended apps or anything? Well, if you got a Roma installed, then you can start running... As far as homebrew, I mean, there's RetroArch. That's good for... I mean, RetroArch has its problems, but on the Wii U, it's a great way of getting a lot of emulators on there. And...
Frankenstein PS3 mod soon, maybe.
Yeah, if I have a worthwhile target, absolutely. But I would probably... I think the most interesting part of a Wii U for me is the ability to play not just Wii U games, but Wii and GameCube games. So I would get the Virtual Wii modded as well, and I would get Nintendo installed, and then just have a little Nintendo powerhouse. That would be my recommendation. Did you find any bugs in this one? Thankfully, no. That one was unique. The cockroach boy. This one was just packed with dust. Thankfully, that's not so much of a problem. Where's the fan? Ah, put it up here. Oops. What do you think of an iMac with Windows 2000 installed? That sounds unbelievably based. I don't have an iMac anymore. I don't have access to the one that I installed Windows ME on. But if I did, I would absolutely try installing Windows 2000 on it. Have you ridden on a train before? Yes. Mostly in other countries, like Japan, and well, it depends what you mean by train, because train can also refer to a subway, but sometimes people make the distinction. I've ridden subways in a lot of cities, or metro trains, But as far as like a long distance train, I've ridden a Shinkansen and I've ridden an Amtrak in America.
I am back and finished my networking job.
Ooh.
Found out I need a funny drill moment because actual wood floors can now wire up a PS3 if I wanted.
And why wouldn't you? That sounds like a fantastic idea. Alright. Bottom shielding and whatnot. Ah. Missing a screw over here. I put this in too soon. Maybe it says you're playing as you have the word up in your title. Oh, that makes sense. I do have the word up in the title. So it's like, up. Well, any stream with the word up in it must be playing up, right? Obviously. I had a PS3 in my grandma's house before I moved away, but she gave it away because she didn't know what it was. It was the launch model to... Oof! That's unfortunate. Let me bring up a guide real quick so that I'm not putting this back together blind. Or I could just watch my stream in reverse, of course.
Love you, Matt.
Aw, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. The $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Alright. So this definitely goes here.
What's your favorite Nintendo console?
Good question. I grew up with an N64. I think that's the one I have the fondest memories for. I like the GameCube a lot, though. I think that's got. I really like its aesthetic, and I like the selection of games on there. Though I might argue that the Wii has the biggest variety of good games, because it was the most popular and therefore had the most like third-party support. Well, so if I had to choose between the three, I might choose the N64 just because of nostalgia. Though between the three, I wouldn't necessarily say it has the best games or the most good games. Thank you for the super chat, Nater Marson. Okay. All right. So, just want to make sure that I wasn't supposed to put a screw there. I'm going to assume I was. There we go. Alright, time for some new thermal paste. Everyone loves thermal paste. Should I dual boot my 3070 gaming PC with XP for the memes? Yes, you should, of course. Why is that even a question? Okay. What do we think? Do we think that's enough? I could use a spreader. That might be a good idea. I have one here.
What?
What? Oh yeah, it does. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't like apostrophes, and I don't know why.
Why is better? You good or UW you do. By the way, love your videos.
I didn't quite get that from the way Mike, the way Microsoft Sam pronounced it. My favorite project I've done on this channel. As far as project goes, I like a lot of them. I like the hardware projects mostly because I like hardware in general. I like the idea of restoring things and repairing things, and it does look like I'll need a little bit more. And I like good deals, getting things for cheap. That's always fun. However, I think the projects I do that are like the best ones, the ones that do the most good, is probably the software hacking videos, the modding games videos, or the decompiling Sonic Runners videos and things like that. I have a feeling that's probably enough, because it'll obviously squeeze down once the board is in properly. So I think that's probably good enough. Were you emo in the old days of this channel? What do you mean, was? Yeah, I mean, I was in a punk band for a while.
Would you use a Mac and an iPhone from 2010 today?
Not if I didn't have to, just because I probably have things I gotta do, and a lot of those things are probably a lot harder on on hardware from 2010.
Can you run Lego Island on a Hisense Smart TV Swap?
On a Hisense Smart TV? I have a feeling that would be quite a challenge. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Okay. Alright, I think I know what is next. See, not that way, it's this way. And there's a bit of dust I missed. Disgusting. Okay. PS5 is a failed console. Bold statement. I mean, I can't necessarily confirm or deny it though, because I've never had a PS5, and most people I know have never had a PS5. So, in some ways, it's that may be an accurate statement. Alright. Top shell. Where's that? Yeah.
What about Lego Island on a Samsung Smart Fridge?
What do these things run? I assume it's Android, in which case, I guess anything that runs on Android will run. But I think that's really what we need. We need an Android port of Lego Island. And then we can do all sorts of things. Anything that runs Android, NVIDIA Shield, whatever, things like that, they can all run Lego Island. All our problems will be solved.
How can I tell if I've got the less reliable PS?
Check the model number, and if it's an early model, you can find lists of PS5 models. You can see what kinds of GPUs they have. They're 90 nanometer, 65 or 40 or whatever. I mean, that's not necessarily a mark of overall reliability. Like, don't want to make it too general of a statement, but it is true that those models have worse thermals and therefore are more prone to issues long term. It doesn't necessarily mean you're definitely going to have a problem though. Alright, Wi-Fi antenna back in. This might be the Bluetooth antenna, might be both. No, they should have different antennas, right? Alright. So, just gotta screw this in, and then we're good to go. Pretty much. First time on a MattKC stream, welcome to the stream. We are just fixing up a PS3. I apologize if I'm not talking a lot right now, because I'm concentrating a little bit trying to get all the pieces back in the right place. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything or missing anything.
Love your videos.
Oh.
So glad I made it to the stream.
Thank you, and thank you for the super chat. And yes, I'm glad you stopped by as well. I think this is how it goes. A bit like putting a puzzle back together. There we go. Okay. So these two screws are for this. Thankfully, they often point arrows at places that screws are supposed to be. It's a surprisingly pro-repair move in a world where there aren't a lot of pro-repair moves. Running Windows on a PS4 would be cool. It would be cool. I don't know how you do it. I guess if you could run a virtual machine, it would be relatively performant because it's all x86 64. Okay, I think that's good. Now I just need to get the top shell screws back in. Alright. I'm just following the arrows at this point. The arrows with an M next to them are for the smaller screws, I know that much. I don't know what the M stands for. Maybe it's metric, or maybe it's just like mini.
I just recently started emulating PS3 games, and playing DJ Hero at 1440p 60 is a dream come true.
Hell yeah, yeah, I've heard another friend of mine is doing that too. It sounds like a great time. It's really cool that those 7th gen consoles are starting to get properly emulated now. Some of them even better than 6th and 5th gen consoles. YouTube identified this as Up the movie. Yeah, we're pretty sure it's because I have Up in the title.
My suit from my main into XP PC to mess with.
Oh wow, nice. Yeah, some people are speculating it's because I have the word Up in the title, and YouTube has just been like, "Cool, you're playing Up," because Up is not a common word in the English language at all. You must just be talking about the movie. Alright, we've got all of them back in. Just tighten them up. What's the problem with the PS3? There's no problem with it. This is the one you saw in the PS3 video. It was the one that worked, but the Blu-ray drive didn't work. I'm giving this one to a friend. And I thought it would be courteous to, because I knew it was full of dust, to clean it up for them before I sent it over, to not send it full of dust. Hey, maybe I'll even save some shipping costs. Maybe it's like a third, it's probably like a third of its weight used to be dust, but not anymore. So, I'm just kidding, but, yeah, so I'm not doing anything special, no repair or anything like that, just cleaning it up. Cool. Get the CPU and GPU heatsink clamps back in.
My grandmother had a PS3 in her house for 6 years and she's a smoker. I finally got it and cleaned out all the smoke dust. It was nasty.
Damn. Yeah, it's funny how much these consoles like pick up from their environment. Like, in a way, they all tell a bit of a story about the household that they were in before you got them. Better watch that PS3 vid. Yeah, I mean, if you want, I'm not gonna, not pressuring anyone to watch my videos, but it's, I think it turned out pretty well, and it does provide a little bit of backstory for this PS3. Okay, so that's pretty much all the complicated part over. It's just getting the Blu-ray drive back in. Power supply back in and then closing it up. I hate these things. First time watching one of Matt's live streams? Hell yeah, thanks for stopping by. There we go. I think that's in. Cool. The Blu-ray drive is not actually screwed in, it just kind of sits in there. The power supply is screwed in though. Will you make any more console related videos? I'm sure I will. I mean, I don't know what the next one will be, but I'm always looking for fun new things to do. Alright. Oh, this is an M. Let me bring up the guide for this one just because there are a lot of different screws here. Alright. Almost done, guys. Not doing the eraser cooler mod on this one. Not at this point, just because this is going to be a cooler model anyway, because it's 65 nanometer rather than 90. And I haven't really done any thermal testing on it, and I don't have any reason to believe that the thermals aren't fine as is. And while it's probably, you know, I'm sure it wouldn't do any harm to do it, I want to leave this as stock as possible. Oh, sorry for bumping the camera. I want to leave this as stock as possible for my friend. My friend, if he wants, can put the eraser, do the eraser mod if he thinks the thermals could be better. The PSU looks a lot like a PS3 Slim, doesn't it? You're actually kind of right. I hadn't thought about it before, but yeah. Just bumping into everything. Microphone here, camera up there. It's because I'm trying to get real up close and personal with this one. What do you guys think of the top of my head? How do you feel about that? Could you do more storytime videos like the one you got suspended from school video? I loved it. Hell yeah. I'm glad you like that, because that's obviously a more, like, a more quote-unquote basic video. But, yeah, I'm glad people are into it anyway. Yeah, I have more stories. I'd love to talk about them. I just realized a cable is caught underneath one of the screw holes, and that's why one of the screws isn't going in, so that's my bad. Get that fixed now. Very hairy. It's fine. Sexy, yeah. What do you think of the top of this head? Look at all that. Brilliant. Oops. Hook me up with 8-1, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of this 8-1 in my life. Alright. That's all that I needed to do. Cool. Your head is the most entertaining, RN. True. This should just be a head stream. I don't know why I'm bothering with any of this other stuff. You should talk about more stories in this stream. Let me think. What would be worth talking about? There was the time that we got onto Hotmail at school, even though it was banned. And honestly, this was hardly like a hack or a crack or anything like that. I hardly did anything special. All I did was, this was at a time when Microsoft was rebranding Hotmail as like Windows Live Mail. And of course, we all wanted to use Hotmail at school because we all had Hotmail email addresses, and that was a nifty thing, you know, in a time before social media, when we had just having email addresses and being able to send each other emails and be like, this teacher sucks, without like the school, because we had school email as well, but we were very aware that they monitored those, so if we said anything naughty, then we would have gotten in trouble, but on Hotmail, we wouldn't have, which is obviously why they banned it, but we thought it would be fun well, we wanted to get onto Hotmail at school, and I realized at home, when you go to hotmail.com, it would immediately redirect to a domain. I even still remember it. It was login.live.com/?ID equals 2. And somehow that would get you to, that was the real Hotmail. Hotmail.com just redirected there to this login.live.com. And so when I went to school, you know, if you typed in hotmail.com, it would say, this website is blocked by your administrator. But if you typed in login.live.com/?ID equals 2, no problem. And the whole rest of Hotmail was completely unblocked from there. All I had to do was memorize that domain. I probably didn't even need to memorize it. I probably could have written it down, but at that time I took some pride in memorizing it. I thought, nah, if I want to do this properly, I have to memorize it. So that was a lot of fun. We got to email each other at school. What PS3 games do I own? In Australia, I owned a lot more. I owned, I think, God of War Trilogy. I think we had Gran Turismo, Little Big Planet, obviously. We had Uncharted 1 and 2. Yeah, we had a good, like, dozen or so games. But since moving, I only have games that I've either been donated, like, by friends, or that have been discovered in broken PS3s like NCAA basketball. Alright. We're about to close this thing up. Isn't that exciting? There's a bit of dust that I missed. My bad. Alright. Here we go. So this thing levers down on the front. You hook it on the front, and then you kind of lever it down. It's a tough one. There we go. Had a little bit of trouble with that when I was working on the PS3 in the video. Alright, screw this in. The XP ISO finished downloading, but someone said you can't USB boot Windows XP. Do you know how to boot and install to a partition on the drive using a USB? I don't, but and I could believe it might be a challenge just because it never supported USB, but it might depend a lot on your BIOS and if you can install drivers for it and stuff like that. More Wii U modding content in the future? Yeah, possibly. I actually have my Wii U right here. It's set up permanently so that I can play things like CTGP or things like that. Right at my desk whenever I feel like it. I might even do that on stream one day. Can you run a Moog OS on your brain? On my brain? Do you think that's what happens when, like, there are people that just won't stop making Among Us jokes and they're all like, just... Technically, I'm one of those. I made an Among Us joke in the last PS3 controller video, so I'm not trying to I'm not criticizing anyone because I am one of them. Do you think we're all just running Amog OS on our brains? MattKC, what do you know about 8-1? Nothing. I know a lot of people in the in the comments, they said something like, what you should have done when they said, what do you know about 8-1? You should have just said, oh, it's 7, miss. And then, and then I probably would have gotten expelled. No, I don't know. No, to be fair, a lot of the teachers, maybe this was what it was like growing up in Australia, but a lot of the teachers were fairly chill about like kids being sarcastic. So I can imagine she probably would have been like, right, well, we know that, like, she would have just gotten back to the point and been like, we know you've been doing this instead. I noticed there's some of this like residue on the top case as well, so real quick, I'll just wipe that down. I don't think it needs a lot. It suggests that maybe some of this was submerged because it looks like a liquid residue. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see that. There's like some kind of residue there, and it comes off easily with water, so it's not exactly a concern, but it does make me wonder like what that is, what happened. 8-1 on the top, baby. True. How do I get rid of Windows 10 bloatware? My laptop needs to be sped up. You can try installing stuff, but honestly, the best way is not the way that anyone wants to hear, which is to reinstall. Voice crack. Or reinstall, but install Windows LTSC instead of regular Windows. Unfortunately, that remains, in my opinion, the most effective way to clean up a Windows PC is simply to reinstall it. It's not as bad as it used to be, but yeah, it is a little bit like that still. Hear me out. Windows on a Wii U. Would it be possible? I think someone has ported like... Technically, all you need to run Windows on a Wii U is DOSBox or QEMU, however you pronounce that. I know it's emulation, so it's a bit of a cheat, but technically that is all you need. And I think those things are on the Wii U. Natively, no. The CPUs are completely different. The machines are completely different. You can only really run Linux on devices like that because it's open source, so you can modify it to run on just about anything. Windows is not open source, so you can't. Though, to be fair, there is Windows source out there. You can compile a substantial amount of Windows XP, and there is stuff like ReactOS. You know, which is not technically Windows, but it's close. Depending on how far you want to get with it. Will you run Linux on the PS3? This one, no. And in fact, I don't think I could because it's, even if I wanted to, because it's upgraded to the latest OS, which means that it's long after other OS has been discontinued. And as far as I know, I'm not sure. Maybe you can actually. Maybe you can downgrade the OS. I'm not aware. I feel like they might have added protections for that because, of course, downgrading an OS is, you know, bad for security. If they've patched something out and then you can just downgrade it, then there's not really much point to patching anything out. I know you can't downgrade a stock PS3. But you might be able. There might be ways to downgrade a modded one that I'm not aware of. Do you know Windows Calculator is open source? I have heard about that, yeah. Microsoft, I do know they're trying to be a little bit more open source friendly. Where is... It doesn't really matter. Okay. Hard drive back in. And that's it. PS3 is nice and clean and all back together. Get the hard drive plate back in. Alright. How is everyone feeling? How long did that take? Like 2 hours? But PS3 on the inside is much cleaner. I actually haven't given this an outside wipe down yet. May as well do that, right? Boot it. This is where we find out that I've broken it and it's completely destroyed now. Oh, there's some like dirt in here though. That's weird. I'd have to go in there with some alcohol at some point. Gross. Alright, at least I'll power it on. I don't know if I can get the capture feed into the computer at this time. I don't have another... I've legitimately misplaced my... I have 2 capture cards, and one of them is running my camera at the moment, but I've legitimately misplaced the other one. I don't know where it is, which is unlucky. Otherwise I would. I'd get the video feed from it, but I'll at least turn it on. At least plug it in and whatnot. There we go. Just had to get a power cable. You forgot the thermal paste? I did not. I did not forget the thermal paste. Alright, well, a red light, so power is working. PS3 has HDCP anyway. I actually have an HDCP stripper specifically so that I can capture PS3s. That's how I got the footage for the video. It really is just that in order to get footage from the PS3, I'd have to like disconnect my camera or look for my other capture card, which I can't. I don't know where it is. But yeah, it seems to be working. I mean, we're not getting a video feed, so maybe it's. I'm just gonna trust that it is working, but it's powering on. It seems fine. Boom. True. Okay, it's off. All right. Well, I will clean this a little bit more later, and then I'll be shipping it out to my friend. It's pretty satisfying. I like doing cleaning. It's not the most interesting thing in the world. I know that, but it is fun. It's nice to see dirty stuff get cleaned. Which headphones are you wearing? These are Sennheiser somethings. I don't know what the model number is, but you can actually... There's a video on my channel where I do this mod. Hang on, I'll switch to the camera. In fact, I'll do a close-up. Yeah, nice up close and personal. This is actually a socket. So if I unplug this, there's a socket there, which I did because I like having a socket instead of a wire. And I did this mod in a video. You can look it up. It's called something like the best headphone mod or something like that. And you can see me do it, and I still use these headphones to this day. Some people have asked, like, what do you do with your stuff after you fix it? Do you sell it? And I'm like, most of the time I actually just use it. I actually just keep it for myself. Do you drive a BMW? You seem like a BMW guy, lol, not sure. I do not drive a BMW. I actually, when I used to work at a used car dealership, and BMWs were always my least favorite cars because when you work at a car dealership, I did not sell any cars. I was not a salesman. I was a photographer, so I would go around. It was a used car dealership, so they would want online listings, and I would be the one taking the photos for them. So I would go out into the car yard and go around and take 20 photos of each one, all specific photos that they wanted in the listings. And BMWs were always my least favorite because you need to get these specific photos. So you need to get specific angles, you need to be able to pop the hood and get a photo under there. And BMWs and other European cars like it would always put like the triggers for those, the things like the bonnet release or things like that in like completely different places than every other car, they would try to get all like fancy with it and be like, we're gonna put it over here instead. And it always really annoyed me because I just wanted to finish the car as quickly as possible. Now obviously that's not something that would affect you as a car owner. Once you figured it out the first time, then you just know for the rest of the time you had that car. But for me, going in and out of cars all the time, it was always really annoying when some luxury car thought it would be really trendy to put the bonnet release somewhere else, and I have to be like, oh, I have to figure out where this is. So, but that was only while I was working there. I don't have any problem with BMW cars today. Hey man, do you plan on making a community Discord server? Also, completely unrelated idea, RGH on an Xbox 360. So, this is actually a good time to bring it up. So, I'm not a big fan of like huge public Discord servers. That's why I haven't really publicized one on my YouTube channel. Instead, I set up the MattKC forums. Yes, here we go. It's in light mode because I'm in a different browser profile, but there's a dark mode, which is always what I use. And I post, I highly recommend people join and hang out and talk about game modding and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm working on instead. As for RGHing an Xbox 360, I do have an RGH'd 360, but I know that there's a new method now, because mine it's an sRGH2, I think, and it requires the glitch chip, and it's a little bit unreliable. You can it takes some time to wait for it to boot. Sometimes it misses because it has to be timed exactly right to mod the console on boot. But there's a new mod, RGH3, where all you have to do is attach a few wires and resistors, and the console effectively like mods itself. It like sets all of that up for you. So I'm very interested in looking into that at some point. Yeah, I may do something like that. If you ever get a mod team on the website, you should call it the cleanup crew. True. In fact, there's something I wanted to show you on the forum, because I've been doing some Lego Island modding and some other game modding like that, but I haven't gotten far enough to like turn it into a video. And I thought it'd be fun to, and so instead of making a video about it, I've done some, hang on. I've looked at some, well, so because the discoveries are too small to make a whole video about them, sometimes I'll just post them on the forum instead. For example, check this out. Here's a thread that I posted, and it's about how you can change a flag in Lego Island while it's running in memory to enable walking in areas that you're not supposed to walk in. If you've never played Lego Island, there's the outside world. You walk around that, and then there's the inside rooms, and those are basically a composite of a 2D pre-rendered background and 3D elements in front of it. And we kind of wondered if if there was any actual difference between the outside 3D world and the inside 3D world. They look completely different because they've got a 2D pre-rendered background, but there was kind of this idea that what if they're actually one and the same? What if it all runs on the same system, and there's a way to kind of switch an inside section into an outside section? And I found this flag. I've got the address here. Where if it's 0, then you can't walk around, but if it's 1, you can. And here's a demonstration of me doing exactly that. So I am in a build section. There's a helicopter build section, and you're not supposed to do any sort of movement. You're supposed to just drag these helicopter pieces around and build the helicopter. But if you switch this flag, you can turn around, you can walk forwards and backwards, and it's kind of surreal because you're looking at this stuff at an angle, right? You're like walking towards it, but it's like the camera is angled down, so you're actually like going like into the floor, and you can kind of see how this works, that they've synchronized this 3D piece to line up precisely with this 2D background piece. And you never see the 2D background. Like this is it all lined up. And you never see the 2D background behind all this 3D stuff. They've lined it up that well, but they really do have a fully 3D rendered version of it in the background. And it's really interesting to look at. Here's another example of it. This is the police station. Everything you see here is a 2D rendered image, or part of the background, I should say. But if you click the donuts, then some people start walking in, and these are all 3D elements. So I switched the flag to enable walking around, and so you can walk around, you kind of follow them, you can kind of go up to them, because they're supposed to go up to the box of donuts and eat donuts. But because I've walked up to get closer to them, they're just eating donuts right in front of me. And I can do this real cinematic camera move. This guy walks away, I can pan around and watch him just disappear, just blink out into nothingness. Because that's how the animation works. And it's really interesting to be able to see stuff like that, to kind of break the fourth wall a little bit. So I have a couple of discoveries like this, and not just me. There's a couple other people in our group modding Lego Island and finding interesting little things and posting them on the forum. And yeah, so if you're interested in seeing small little write-ups, small little discoveries of games like this, I highly recommend you hang out on forum.mattkc.com, or just go to mattkc.com and click forum. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, we get to document things like this. Oh geez, I'm almost 3 hours late. I don't know if you really missed anything. We were just cleaning a PS3 for a while, but I'm still going. I might finish up soon though, because we're 2 hours and 50 minutes in. I might finish up at the 3 hour point, so another 10 minutes or so. Got to get some lunch and get some other work done, so you know how it is. You seem like an awesome person to have as a friend. I appreciate that. I don't know if that's true, but thank you. That's very kind of you. Matt, take a shower. I can smell you from here. Thank you for the super chat, Anthony Staten. And I actually had a shower this morning. I don't think I'm that smelly. I might be a little bit smelly after cleaning out that PS3, to be fair, but it's not that bad. I'm not that bad. Matt, this has been on my mind for so long. What the hell does your outro say, and where does it come from? Love the content. Thank you for the super chat, Juice Grape. I didn't know there were people who didn't understand it, because I think it depends on the person. It's kind of like a Yanni Laurel situation where some people can hear it and some people can't. It's the DK rap that I've like YouTube pooped it to say subscribe to MattKC. So it's like subscribe to MattKC, and that's what it's supposed to say. And I get the way they say it. They're like subscribe to. It is a little mumbly, and that can make it hard to hear. But it's you're not the first person that's asked me that recently, and it never occurred to me that people might not know what it was saying. So anyway, that's what it says. That's hopefully that helps. Why don't you wear gloves while cleaning electronics? I should get some gloves, probably. Generally, it's just because I don't really have any, and I usually just wash my hands afterwards. I haven't washed my hands yet. I probably should. I just don't want to disappear from the stream again. But yeah, usually I just wash my hands, and I'm like, okay, well, it's all good now. But yeah, it probably would be worth washing my hands. You're probably right. Previously on MattKC. I haven't done a two-parter in a while, so I haven't been able to bring that out. But I really like that soundbite. That previously on MattKC. Opinion about Markiplier? He seems really cool. I don't watch a lot of his videos, Because by the time I really discovered him, I wasn't really watching Let's Plays anymore. But he's like, everything I've seen about him seems like he's a really cool guy. I've seen him in person. I saw him at VidCon, and I watched his panel. And yeah, again, really cool guy. He seems really funny. I like him a lot. I don't watch a lot of his videos. Is the couch behind you real or a green screen? I have to say, it would be pretty impressive if this was all green screen. Actually, I take that back. It would be a particularly mediocre thing to green screen behind me. Yeah, it's real. It's the real background of my apartment. The thing is, my apartment is actually not very big. There's not a lot of it. I have a bedroom, and I have a bathroom, and I have a kitchen. But otherwise, it's pretty much just this area. This is the lounge room, the living room, as I think Americans call it. But and I've just kind of commandeered it as my work area because there's no other room. There's no other place to put my computer setup, and that's why there's a couch behind me. I actually have a setup tour coming soon. That's currently being edited to kind of talk about why my setup is the way it is. Hey Matt, simple way to fix a PS2 memory card. Clean the pins with isopropyl, but that didn't work. Can I send it to you for a future video? I don't know why that wouldn't work. I'm not sure I could. I'm not sure even I'd know how to fix it. I assume you want it fixed rather than replaced because it has save files on it. In which case, I might try. I'd recommend trying to pick up a memory card to USB adapter, because those exist. Those let you like copy games saves off the memory card. See if that works. There's no guarantee depending on where the fault is, but it might have different luck than a real PS2. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I'd be knowledgeable enough to know what to do about that. What is the text-to-speech voice from that previously on MattKC? It's the Spoderman voice. There's like instructions. If you've ever seen Spoderman, just in case you haven't seen Spoderman. Oh, this guy sucks. Never watched this guy. So basically, it's just a really crappy text-to-speech voice. And there's instructions on how to get this voice out there. Like you can just look them up. So that's basically it. I just followed those instructions, made it say MattKC, and then that was it. Gotta love this thrilling footage of the movie Up. Yeah, so I didn't tell it that. I didn't say this is Up. In fact, on my stream it says game like dash. It's empty for the game. I think it would appear that it just decided that, oh, I didn't end the poll. The poll's been running this whole time. It appears that YouTube just kind of decided my video was about, or my stream was about Up, because I have the word up in the title. They're like, that's not a common English word. This must be about the word, the movie Up, or the game made from the movie Up, or something. So that seems to be why that's happened. I don't know. It was not by my hand that this video, this stream, became about Up. How do I fix a broken marriage, MattKC? I'm afraid even I don't know the answer to that. So it's a running joke with some of my friends. They're like, I fix something in a video, and I'm like, hey, I fixed this in a video. And they're like, great. Can you fix my depression? And I'm like, afraid not. Don't know anything about fixing that. How about I can't fix yours if I can't fix mine, huh? Also, Macra, thank you for the super chat. Been watching since the Lego Island music video and loved everything ever since. Hell yeah, that's a while ago now. Keep up the great content. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Any Apple content in the works? Yes, I have some ideas. There's like there's a new, not new anymore. It's not new anymore, but I've been wanting to do it since it was new, which was that you can mod an iMac G3 to just function as a VGA monitor, so you can like funnel anything into it. And you could even, if you really wanted, put a Mac Mini M1 inside it, and then make it an iMac G3 M1 run, Mac OS Monterey on it. I really want to look into that at some point. I did a Hackintosh back in 2015, but it was a pain to keep it running smooth. Yeah, that's been my experience. I mean, like I said in my Hackintosh video, some people run it with no problems for years, but I always ran into something, and eventually, and usually I found myself in a position that I was rebooting into Windows often to play games or something like that. And any time that I had to frequently reboot into another OS, I eventually just kind of lost patience and decided to just switch back to that OS. That was until this year when I finally got my computer to run. I finally set up a GPU pass-through, so my computer runs Linux on the host, but I run Windows in a virtual machine, so I can do everything that you can only do on Windows in a VM without having to reboot, without having to dual boot. Super convenient, and I get the benefits of Linux on the host. So since being able to do that, I've been able to main Linux all year, pretty much. But before then, I tried to main Linux before, and to edit videos, because most editing software is only on Windows or Mac OS. I found myself constantly having to reboot into Windows to edit something or to play a game, and eventually it just kind of felt like, well, why am I bothering? I should just main Windows. But now that I don't have to dual boot, don't have to reboot at all, I am a happy Linux mainer, and occasionally load up a Windows virtual machine to do something that can only be done in Windows. But that's becoming smaller and smaller. Some of these recent videos, I edited those on Linux because some Linux editors have popped up. And I play pretty much all of my games on Linux now as well, because thanks to Steam and Proton making all of that work. I play almost all of my... I think the only game that I was playing in the Windows VM for a while was Halo Infinite, because that uses a bunch of DirectX 12 stuff that didn't work in Proton yet. But I think now, from what I've heard, it works in Proton, which means that there are literally no games that I can't play on Linux, with the exception of maybe Lego Island, just because there are some parts of that still don't work in Linux. But I'm working on that. I'm working on it. Have you got your eye on any other games to rebuild, like the Sonic one you covered somewhat recently? Cheers, mate. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Absolutely. I really want to focus more on doing more game modding stuff like that. Those are usually my favorite projects. I love doing software. So I absolutely want to start looking at more of that. I don't have anything concrete yet, but I have a lot of ideas. Any good retro gaming stores, I'm in ACT. God, I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. I grew up in ACT. I spent the first 25 years of my life in there, and I really struggled. There's the Green Shed that occasionally has some good stuff, but it's a little bit... it's not as good as it used to be. You used to be able to pick up CRTs for like $5 or Macs for like $5. But then they discovered eBay, and all the good stuff tend to sell on eBay now, and rather than... So you can't really get it in stores anymore. It's a struggle. I don't envy you. To be perfectly honest, my solution to that was to move somewhere else. I hate to say it, but that's kind of how it ended up. Wish I wasn't late, damn it. It's okay. I mean, don't worry too much, because I'll be streaming more in the future, and if you want to watch this stream, it'll be posted. It'll be unlisted, so it won't be showing up in your sub feeds. But if you go to the MattKC live playlist, you can watch through, check out what I've done in this stream if you feel like it. And like I said, I'll be streaming. My plan is to be streaming a lot more, at least like twice a week. The Green Shed is the most Australian thing I've ever heard. Yeah. But thank you for the super chat, Mjolse. I might actually finish up. We've been going for 3 hours now, which seems like a reasonably good amount of time. I have to get some lunch, I have to get some other work done, so I think I'm going to finish it up. Thank you so much for joining. I know Cleaning up a PS3 is not the most interesting thing in the world, but I thought it'd be fun to hang out with you guys while I did it. So I hope I hope it was at least some good background noise for you. Anyways, thank you so much for sticking around. Super chat coming in at the very last minute. Hey Matt, really enjoy your videos. I wonder what do you do for a living? So if you already answered that, greetings from Germany. For the most part, you're watching it. YouTube is what mostly what pays the bills. I do some other software stuff here and there, and I'm hoping to expand my sources of income over the course of 2023. But yeah, for the most part, the videos have been paying the bills. So thank you guys for watching and supporting what I do. I love CEX so much. It's in Oz and still thriving. They sell PS2 to PS5 games, which felt... Yeah, CEX is pretty good. It can be a little overpriced to get stuff that's like good quality, but they usually have a lot of stuff. I'm from Brazil. What time is it there? So where I am, I'm not in an Australian time zone. I'm in Pacific US time zone. So it's 3:07 p.m. So that's the time for me. But if you're wondering what the time is in Australia, I think it's 10 a.m. It would be 10 a.m. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I've lost a bunch of frame rate on my stream apparently. What is this, like 10 FPS? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all hopefully in a couple days on stream, or in a couple weeks, next video, something like that. Anyways, thank you so much for sticking around, and go check out the MattKC forums, or actually just the KC forums. And I'll see you all soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.